Okay, for this video we're going to be tackling our last element of the rubric, and I would argue that for not just the freshmen in my modern world history class, but for juniors, seniors, for any students, this is going to be the toughest part of this to really get, because it really does require some advanced thinking on the part of the student. So what this question is getting at, that I call over here on the rubric the context, audience, purpose, point of view, the CAPP. What this is really getting at is, can you look at a historical source and go beyond just simply telling the reader of your essay what it says? Okay, sure, this is what it says. What does that mean? Now, if you can take it to that next level and say, what does this really get at? Not just what the document says, but why it says it. The why is the really important. So someone writes something. Take for example just a personal journal, and this individual rips out a page of their journal, types it up or decorates it with little flowers and cologne, and sends it to a person, a romantic interest type person. Okay, what that letter says is one element of that document, but why they're doing it, to woo the other person, that why is what you're trying to get at here in this particular element. So let me give you an example from the AP World History essay question of last year. So in the spring of 2018, this was the DBQ, the document-based question in the AP World History exam. Evaluate the extent to which railroads affected the process of empire building in Afro-Eurasia between 1860 and 1918. So just like a cannonball affects the wall when it hits it, bammo, the cannonball leaves an indenture. How did railroads change this process of the European nations building empires in Africa and Asia? Alright, let's look at this first document. The first thing we do is we look at the source material. We think about who is writing it, when they're writing it. There's going to be lots of clues in there. Okay, so this says that this document is a petition in English to the British colonial government of India from the British Indian Association, an organization consisting of high caste Indians in 1866. Okay, so we think about what we know about India in this period. We know that Hinduism depends on a caste system where you have the priestly class, the warrior class, the important high-born caste people that had a lot of privileges in the society, and then it goes down through there to sort of the working classes, the middling classes, and then at the bottom you have the untouchable classes, the people involved with dead bodies and leather workers and really unpleasant type jobs. And those people were ranked in their society, and they all get different privileges and different treatments. So this is coming from the high caste Indians that are talking to the British people that are running India now, and they're going to be asking for something. Alright, let's go ahead and just read this really quickly. Railway travel for Indian natives has for a long time been full of the most bitter and serious grievances. The miseries suffered equal the horrors of the Middle Passage. Okay, now whoa. If you know your history, the Middle Passage here is referring to the slave, the ship voyage from Africa to the Americas, to the Caribbean and to the Americas in the 15, 16, 1700s. That terrible period where they were just shoved into ships like sardines, and so many of them died. To say that that's what's going on in railway cars in India is going to be really exaggerating. So we'll think about that in just a minute. We would beg to draw your attention to the bad treatment of native passengers, with no distinctions being made between them. Indiscriminate abuse is lavished freely without regard to differences in rank and social scale. Passengers have often been struck and otherwise treated with great indignity. Passengers traveling in second class are not even allowed to get to the platform, but are made to herd with the masses outside. And at this point, I'm going to pause right here after that outside and continue this in another video.